All right, let's see. Okay, we should be streaming out to the folks out there on the
Cool.
internet. The people on Utreon. You know, if you're on Utreon, you know why we're on Utreon, because I could actually hold guns and show like this very cool Daniel defense that we're going to talk about here later, which is my own personal Daniel defense. Can't do that on YouTube because they have really stupid restrictions that don't stop or help anything. But if you want to join us live, you have to go to Utreon, UTREON / Who Moved My Freedom Podcast, or WMMF. That's how you can find us. Also, we will be, of course, we'll be taking the audio out of this and throwing that up on the iTunes and all those other things. All right, that being said, let me load my guests up into the windows here. Let's get them up there. And I am going to press the button, and we're going to jump all the way into this.
Welcome back to the Hank Strange Situation, Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded.
We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Franklin Armory. Franklin Armory provides 100% US-made firearms and awesome binary option triggers. Their focus and purpose is to provide freedom tools to all Americans, especially those in not-so-free states. So when you're in the market, please consider Franklin Armory. All right, we're live here. Let's see. Yeah, Ryan, we can hear you. We actually are live. Jesse, we do this thing here called Jazz Hands. Everyone has to do it. There you go. We're taking it back from the terrorists. We are live. I hope you guys have your big girl panties on. This is episode 908 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. And my guests are Ryan from Fort Scott Munitions. There he goes right there, Ryan. Ryan, your internet looks like it's a little shaky, but we'll take it. We'll take it. You know, it's better. Yeah, it's better than. Yeah. He's are you at Fort Scott or?
Oh. Yeah, I am actually. I'm in the office. I'm wired in, so it should be working fine. But we've been, I don't know, it's been acting up on us the last couple of days, so I'm not sure what's going on.
Okay, no worries. We can hear you. Then also joining me is my friend Jesse Finley of Knuckle Down Dynamics. There he goes, Jesse. Welcome to the show for the first time, my friend. How are you?
It's going to be fun.
Yeah,
I'm great.
Yeah, good, awesome. Yeah, so we've got like the whole crew here. Let me get everyone up in here. So for the folks out there who don't know, you should know Ryan, right? Ryan, just tell the folks real quick what you do at Fort Scott Munitions.
So I'm the chief operations officer for the retail side, so brick and mortar storefront, the website, and the training side. So I've kind of been working behind the facilities built up. We've partnered with Battle Line. They're the hosting. The training I'm working on the facility to support them in that way.
Okay, cool. All right, so I know a little bit of that probably came in broken up, but the big thing here is that you're in charge of the retail side of the store, and then also the training stuff that's going on, which you guys at Fort Scott have some very cool training facilities that you've opened up, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're really excited about that and continuing to build and grow on that. So you were able to see some cool stuff, I think, when you were here. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw a lot of cool stuff, including Jesse of Knuckle Down Dynamics, who was training with us. Jesse, you want to tell the folks, like, how are you even associated with Fort Scott Munitions? I think you're in Kansas, but, you can explain that to the folks out there.
Yeah, I'm actually out of Missouri. I met Ryan. Well, I didn't meet Ryan. I met Robbie at a SHOT Show one year. And, I bought some ammo of theirs and was posting some pictures and stuff. And they got a hold of me, and I'm a sponsored shooter for Fort Scott, which led me to meet Chris and, through the Battle Line stuff. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so Jesse was, if you guys have seen any of the footage from the Copper Ticket event that happened that I went out to, there's a lot of it with Jesse in there doing some badassery. Yeah. You know, I'm gonna put some percentage of that down to youth, Jesse. Youth.
Yeah.
as the old guy here, because you know.
No, we were a great team. We were a great team.
Yeah, no, it was fun. I just, man, you gotta enjoy that youth, man. It's so precious, you know. Yeah.
Use every bit of it.
Yeah. How old are you, by the way?
27.
27. Man, 27. I can't even remember back to those days. It's all fading out there. So yeah, that was fun. We've got some. If you guys have any questions or anything like that for either of these guys as we go through the show here, feel free to let me know if you got questions, comments. Night Train says, I own a lot of Fort Scott ammo, but I'm afraid to shoot any of it because ammo is so expensive. What do you think about that, Ryan? Me too.
Yeah,
Fort Scott
I
ammo.
can't blame you. You got to test them in your gun, though. You got. What I'd say is at least get the basic couple mags cycled in your guns. Make sure they're working well in there. You know. Beyond that, I hear you. It's tough right now. We're trying to get decent supply lines back up. You know. So Robbie's been doing a great job of that, and if you've been paying attention to the website, we've been able to get most of the calibers back in stock. So it's starting to come back. Obviously, prices are high across the board, and I don't know. That's more of a devaluation of the dollar as a whole, I think. You know, so
yeah, and I think people, the Fort Scott stuff is not necessarily range ammo. Although, do you sell range ammo? I think you do, don't you?
We'll do spurts of it.
Okay.
But the problem is people complain about it because we're still using the high-end components that we use on our self-defense ammo and stuff like that. So it's still not the cheapest range ammo. I mean, it's greater quality. Some people who know what it is like it because it is more accurate. It's cleaner. There's a lot of pros to it, but it's not competitive for just your cheapest range ammo. Even on that side, it's a quality range ammo still.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to be able to tell the difference between the two. And then obviously when we do a lot of shooting here on the range, we use that stuff like it's range ammo, but that's because Fort Scott also sponsors the channel for ammo. Jesse, you probably deal with some of that too. Do people say to you like, "Why are you shooting this stuff, man? What's wrong with you?"
Yeah. Yeah. When people come out to the range and they see what ammo I'm digging out of to shoot at paper targets, they're like, I don't even want to watch you do that.
Yeah. Oh.
So.
Yeah. Oh, trust me. Sometimes I'm like, oh my, man, this is the good stuff going down range, but it is good stuff. Go ahead.
I'm totally fine with it.
Yeah. Well, you got to try.
We even got those comments at the copper ticket though.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, people are saying the same thing there. People are like, man, here we are shooting this high quality ammo like it's range ammo at the thing, at the copper ticket event. People are having the same hardships doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. But it was good stuff. I mean, we used it. I never had any problems with ammo other than the ones that the guys out there induced. So, it's. When you need it, you want to have the good stuff. So this is the thing everyone has to figure out. Like you said, get the good stuff, make sure you use it, and it can go through the guns that you're using, because not everything works on everything. So That's just a reality of ammo. But other than that, if you want to go through range stuff, then yeah, man, you got to stack that range ammo whenever you can, or go to 22s. So, yeah. Lola has a question. She says, so what is the current state of ammo production versus demand and the high costs? What's going on with that?
Versus demand and high costs? We can't get components for what we used to. I mean, we're almost paying what retail prices used to be on the components. So it's one of those things, unfortunately, and you're seeing it, I think, in every industry. And as a manufacturer, you can't take the losses on that. You have to, unfortunately, pass that on to the customer. And it's, it's a downside of the times we're in right now. So
yeah,
there's definitely. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I don't know if Jesse had a thing, something he wanted to jump in there, but feel free, Jesse, at any point.
Yeah.
You were gonna say something, Ryan. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just, yeah. Sorry. I think I'm good. Yeah.
Oh, no. In
Sorry,
terms
man.
of the ammo, do you guys see, is there any light of day that you see out there, or do you think all the things happening with current events, politics, etc., is that still driving the demand?
It is. It is still driving the demand, but we are seeing like some things we still
Hmm.
are having a really hard time with. 6.5 Creedmoor mainly being one of them.
Hmm.
But we're starting to get a lot of the other ones in. We've actually gotten to the point to where we've been able to get, like, we just released our 30-06 caliber. So we were actually able to get components in on a new caliber that we'd been working on and doing some R&D on. We did the quality check on it, function test, and yeah, so we are able. There is light, I would say, in that regard, because not only are we getting more of the calibers back in that we had, but we're also adding to the caliber list.
Hmm.
The downside is, with everything going on, I can't say how long that's going to last. That's
Yeah,
kind of concerning.
yeah. It's
But
crazy out there for
it's
everyone.
looking, as of in this moment right now, there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Okay. How is it out there for you, Jesse? Obviously, you're a sponsored shooter, so you are getting ammo, but yeah, I'm sure you're still tracking ammo and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And my biggest thing for Fort Scott is I want them to take care of the customer first. So if they send me ammo, then great. If not, then I'll find it. It's been pretty hard to reasonably find prices on ammo, like at local gun shops and stuff. Although I do support local gun shops, so I do buy from there every periodically. But it seems like the online uh, purchasing ammo online has gotten a lot easier to find cheaper deals
Mm-hmm.
because a lot more people are doing it now, so they're not charging an arm and a leg, and there's shipping deals and stuff. But yeah, um, ammo has significantly come back. I remember, what was it?
Yeah,
Maybe this time last year.
yeah,
I don't care if you went to a local gun shop or not; they didn't
mm-hmm.
have certain calibers. So
Yeah, yeah. It was really bad, and then it has gotten better, and even prices have come down. I would agree. The best way to do it is online. And then I agree with you. The same thing. I know when it really was bad out there, it was tough even getting ammo from Fort Scott Munitions, which these guys have always looked out for me. When things were tough for me. So
yep,
when things get tough for them, it doesn't bother me.
exactly.
Plus, like I've probably been shooting a lot in a lot shorter time than you guys, but I lived through that. Was it like 2013? The last when we had the Fire Armageddon, I think that was like 20.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2013. And having lived through that, man, I started like getting ammo whenever ammo was cheap, you know. And then also getting 22. So like a lot of, believe it or not, a lot of 22 or 22 is a good thing to hoard if you're going to hoard any kind of ammo, in my opinion, because you can use that and keep your skills going by shooting 22 stuff. What do you guys think about that?
I like that a lot too. I've gotten actually 22 conversions for all my main guns, and
Hmm.
I really like practicing with it. I know you don't get the recoil management or recoil control practice, but obviously even before here, I'd really gone down that road. And it's great for new shooters too. And I like introducing like new shooters with it because I can give them my gun on a 22 first, real
Hmm.
smooth, worried about everything else, and then step them up to the actual caliber that would be recommendable or something like that.
Hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, did you want to add to that, Jesse?
Yeah, I have 22 conversion kits for my rifles and stuff, and I think it's really good for learning how to manipulate the firearm, getting used to the controls. Plus, I mean, you can get reps on reps of sight picture and just manipulating the gun with a very cheap round. What are they, like,
Hmm.
8 cents a round? So,
Hmm.
and they're fun suppressed. So
Right. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. What other, for folks out there, maybe, there's probably a lot of the guys in the chat right now looking at this, are seasoned gun folks out there. But for new people, what are the other ways that ideas that you guys have for conserving ammo, under these kinds of circumstances, other than 22.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say dry fire, dry fire, dry fire, dry fire.
Okay.
Biggest thing is just make sure the gun's unloaded. So that's first step. But dry fire, taking those each individual parts and isolating them, spending time on it. There's a lot of people that have put out videos and really good instructional stuff as far as dry fire. And then you can always reach out, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. But I think dry fire, I used to work on the road, so dry fire was a really big part of my afternoon thing because I didn't have anything else to do. I was in a hotel. And if you start dry firing, you'll be really surprised on the increase in performance when you go back to the range. And when you're actually spending money, you're actually progressing. So,
What do you think about that, Ryan?
Completely agree. Ever since the first classes I had, they actually had us go back to the hotel room and practice dry fire in addition to to get more reps in on the stuff we had just gone through. And I think that's invaluable. And we're really hitting that from the training side too. We're really trying to take that into consideration with students, whether it be new or returning trainers or trainees, that one, reduced round counts. So doing that, and then we're focusing a lot, like you saw, Hank, too, on the simulation range. So whether it be airsoft, sims, that kind of stuff, it's similar to a 22 conversion kit. You don't have the recoil, but a lot of the other manipulations are carry over very well. And the cool thing once you go to those types of platforms is that you can really start doing some force-on-force scenarios, and that changes the dynamic completely. The adrenaline starts going. You start doing crazy things, especially once you get to review the footage on some things like that. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Force on force with airsoft is dry fire.
Right.
Just for something you can't really do on a normal day. So.
Yep.
It is. There's a lot of tech out there now for that, right? There's a lot of different things that people have out there. So, if people are looking to do that kind of thing, there's a lot of different options that you can do. Can folks in the general public, in your area, of course, in Fort Scott, Kansas, can they come in there and do that kind of training with you guys?
We're working to open it up right now. Yeah, we've got we're just in the launch, so we haven't quite gotten it up, but we're getting some of those entry-level courses in. We've got some conversations in the works, so yeah, it's about to start dropping. You'll see a training tab hit on our website here pretty soon. We got our first class with Michael Billings, who did the copper ticket, will be July 22nd and 23rd. And then, or actually, sorry, I take that back. Jesse Finley's doing one before that with Mike Ritchie. He's doing one room clearing. And, yep. And, yeah, so room clearing and medical. So, and that'll be actually the Sims and the Force on Force there.
Oh, okay. So, you're doing some medical training as well, Jesse?
Yeah, I'm going to be there this trip. So I guess short and sweet, I got hired by Battle Line to be a firearms instructor, and I'm really honored to do that. But this time I'm just going to be there learning myself. And if they need me, I'll help them out. But yeah, I'm going to be at that class.
Yeah. So that's one of the things I would like to talk about in the time that Jesse's here, man, because he just said he got hired by Battle Line. And one of the coolest things I saw at this event, was Chris Tonto talking to you about that, and I was like, oh man, that's really cool. And you were awesome. If you guys don't know Jesse Finley or Knuckle Down Dynamics, I would say please, go to YouTube. You've got a YouTube channel, you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, go check him out. He's I was really impressed by him, and so was Tonto. I don't know if you want to talk about that, but I was there watching it, as it went down. How did that feel?
Oh, it was. It's a humbling experience. It's just really cool to see everything that God's doing in my life, and all this time and effort that I've put into it over the years is starting to be of use, and it's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I really thought that was a cool thing, and that's one of the things I like about Tonto, man, is that he's that kind of person. Even through even through the training. Now I think it was our instructor was Michael Billingsley.
Hmm.
I want to make
Yes.
sure I get that right. Yeah, which was awesome. And then Tonto was like, following up with people. He was all part of the thing. But he's a. I really like the way that was my first time being involved in anything. I really like the way that they all do everything. Mike is scary though. He's like a robot or something. He's like Terminator.
He's
Yeah.
intense for
Don't
sure.
step.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't step on his monster.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
If you guys haven't seen this, we have like a minute here before we go to the next segment. But all of this stuff. There's a whole bunch of different videos that are out. I think the what is it? What's the name of the guys? The Guns Out TV guys have a lot of good videos out on
Yep.
this, right? Yeah.
They did. Yeah, they put out some really good ones. Classic Firearms put out some good ones.
Yeah.
We've been playing catch up, so ours haven't hit yet. And
Mhm.
yeah, so
Yeah.
But,
I've got something because you and I did an interview. I want to put it out, and I think I just want to get some background footage from you, and then I'm going to put that out as well because it shows the warehouse that you guys have. So. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm excited to see that. I'm working on getting that to you. We're working on getting that Google Drive uploaded and stuff. We've had a little bit of technical difficulty there, but I think we actually got it figured out today. We're just waiting on some of the loading now. I thought I was going to have it for you today, but it'll be within a couple days.
Okay, all right. We're gonna come right back to that here and talk about it. We're gonna take a quick break right here. Walther Arms has been making concealed carry handguns for over 90 years, starting with the PPK. Today, Walther is based in the good old US of A and still builds quality firearms like the PPQ and PDP for personal defense and competition. So when you're in the market, please consider Walther Arms. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Walther Arms. Okay. All right. So, there's a couple of things that I want to get to here. Let me see, who is it that said this? 42 Chilled said air guns and Mantis in terms of training. There is a lot of technology you could do at home. You don't even have to go. I know that there are places you can go to, like Gander Mountain has some places you can go there and do that kind of airsoft. What are those things called? They kind of use airsoft, but then you have the screens and all that. Is it reactive shooting? I don't know what the right name.
I think
for that
that's
is.
what it's called. Yeah, with the whole screen, and it evaluates your hits, and there's innocent bystanders and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty high tech.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. Some of them, I've seen some of the behind the scenes stuff, and we've kind of looked at it a little bit, but it's a little concerning on how it's a chore to keep those
guns and stuff. The guns running.
Not the guns necessarily, more the tech behind
Okay.
it. There's a lot of crashes and different things like that.
Okay.
From what we've seen, yeah.
Yeah. You would think that technology is coming along with video games and all that's out there. And I know I've spoken to some people that are trying to develop some technology that's along the lines of the video games and all that. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't realize behind the scenes it was a problem. Have you done any of that stuff, Jesse? Any of the virtual training stuff?
Yes, I have. I actually have a friend of mine who owns Ozark Shoot No Shoot, and he has an entire setup where he goes out and he literally like films in churches or buildings and films all these different scenarios, and then has the security or the people that want to train inside their own place that they work at. All these scenarios in their everyday life, setting. So I've used it, and it's fun. You can do serious stuff, or you can do fun stuff too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the tech is coming along. So some of that we have to give some patience for. But now you guys at Fort Scott Munitions, Ryan, you've got like an actual warehouse. We talked about this the last time that you were on. But I didn't get to experience it until this time. You want to tell people like what that facility is and how you set it up and everything?
Yeah, so we've started with a modular, slip fit connections on a modular layout. So we've got a 90 by 120 shed that we punch the floor on a 4-foot grid. And then we have 4x8 wall panels that we can interchange, basically slip fit and move things around really quickly. Like we can get a layout. For example, that layout that you saw, Hank, we got the morning. We got one morning. By afternoon, we had it all set up. There was a couple panels we were short on, but aside from that, we had it all set up. So we had to. But then you basically have door panels, and you slip it together. It's constructed in such a manner so it's 2x and cardboard, so that it's realistic in the sense of sims and airsoft will penetrate both layers. So you have to deal with pass-throughs the same way you would in a real world. So we were mindful about that. We just actually figured out an event how to incorporate the skywalk into it, or the catwalk, I mean. So that was a big step because that was a big request from a lot of people, and we figured out how to make it happen for that. So that was really exciting.
So just to paint a picture for you guys, I mean, I could probably go look up on my phone and see if there. I know you guys have some video out of this, but just to paint a picture, you guys bought what was it? Like, what kind of facility was that you bought?
It was an old metal recycling plant, and I think they even built engines at one point in time. It was like a Kawasaki thing, and then they recycled metal, and it burned down. So there's bricks, but there's one shed in particular. I think it's about a 5-acre compound that we have to work with, but there's one shed in particular that we've implemented that on.
Okay. So they bought this big facility, the space outside and space inside, kind of like a warehouse situation. And then how big did you say the space of it was? Like 190 what was that?
90 by 120.
90 by 120. So every what is it, like every 4 inches or something? What's the grid space that you have? You've punched basically holes in the concrete slab so that you can change around walls and all that kind of stuff and make any kind of office floor plan that someone gives to you, right?
Yeah, exactly right. So we did it on 4 feet, actually. We kind of went with standard dimensions and stuff. Like I did it, even the wall panels are 4x8s, so that you can put a lot of different things up if there's desire for different things. Like if someone really wanted drywall, we could literally just get a pallet of 4x8 drywall and start tacking stuff together if people want to go that route. Industry standard sizes on stuff like that. So that's kind of the goal there.
Oh, okay, very cool. So, and Jesse, feel free to jump in here because I know you were doing some of this, and I might see if I can look online and find some of this footage. But I think it's a really cool setup that you have going there, that you can build up these, like a shoot house type of a scenario for people to practice and train in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jesse.
No, the modularity of it is pretty cool because I think like this next class that we're going to be doing in July, it's going to be one-man room clearing. So it's going to be more oriented to the single person in their house being able to effectively clear their house if something was to happen in it.
Right, yeah. So the
modularity is awesome.
Yeah, exactly. You could switch it around. You won't necessarily get used to it, or you could use it to train for whatever your facilities are. Right. That kind of a thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. We've actually brought in, so similar to what Jesse's done, which that sounds, or his friend did, that sounds really cool too. But we've brought like our church security team in and laid out the lobby and stuff, and done the force on force scenarios and run through some different things there too. So yeah, we're looking to reach out to some schools and stuff like that, teachers especially. Even in Jesse's class coming up here, we're trying to get some teachers involved from local schools with the medical on the medical side and then stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up on YouTube and see if I could find some footage to illustrate to folks what we're doing here. And I know there's people listening on audio as well, but if you go to Fort Scott Munitions, if you go either to the Instagram or you go to YouTube, you're going to find a lot of these videos. And I think, Jesse, you've got some of this stuff on Instagram, if not YouTube, right?
Yes, I have one of the range day, just a quick little video on YouTube currently. But I think I have...
Yeah. I mean, it's really cool. Just to describe it for you guys, so the kids, I know there's you guys had some issues with like the kids in the neighborhood sneaking into that sneaking into that facility or whatever, you know, and messing around with the rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was some good stories on that, but you know, to paint a picture for you, when you're walking through that whole thing, even outside, you really feel like you're in some kind of, you know, war zone or something like that, I think, to put it lightly. And we did, we did some training there. So I got there, I think, the day before the training with Tonto, which is completely different, you know. And so when we got there, and Jesse was part of this too. We did like this crash course, really intensive. What were those guys? Green Berets. You want to tell people about that? And what was your idea of that? Because I think that was basically torture, as far as I was concerned.
Yeah. So we've got some cool connections with there.
Go ahead.
What's that?
No, what'd you say, Jesse?
Okay.
I was just I sent Hank the footage.
Oh, you did? Okay,
from
cool.
the other compound.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead. I'll pull that up here. Go ahead, guys. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, so we've got some cool connections with some guys that, Green Berets, Special Forces, different things like that. They're Ranger qualified. They've been around and done some stuff. So we're fortunate to have those guys, and they've actually used our facility, some team leadership building. Like they've brought in, you know, like pro athlete groups or teams and stuff from the area, and basically did the same thing they did with us, and ran them through team leadership, try to put people through the paces, and they give them basically it's a fly by night course. It's super fast, but a little bit of land nav, CQB, medical, radio comms. We had some pyros involved, so that was pretty cool. But
yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was cool.
Well, we got some cool, like we have stylists to incorporate. Yeah. So, basically run them through a scenario and a mission objective to where you have, whether it be a hostage or a no kill or a kill, and different things, and run through different scenarios that they've basically done. And so you get a little taste of maybe what they've gone through to some extent. And it's funny hearing different perspectives on guys. Like guys either love it or like, man, that was rough.
No, it was cool. I'm not really complaining about it. I think it was really cool to do it. I don't think you could really grasp what those guys do unless you do something like that, maybe for weeks, in my opinion, just to really get an idea of what they're getting up to. So it really was. I think I heard one of the guys saying to you, it's like trying to what did he say? It's like trying to take 20 pounds of shit and stuff it into a 5-pound bag, in terms of showing people all the different things that they go through. So it definitely gives you some respect for what they do, and I think it's definitely a good thing so far as training, just even showing yourself how fit you really need to be if you think you're going to do this. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I appreciated it for all that. I appreciate it for all that, Ryan. All that was good. You tried to starve me. You did try to starve me out, because you guys had some kind of like vindictive thing.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, you had some kind of vindictive thing going, like, we're going to starve all you guys so you can see what it's really like. Because I guess special operators only like fight on an empty stomach. I don't know what that was about. But it didn't work, because I went somewhere with the Guns Out TV guys and got food.
Yeah, so it was funny on that side. So Gage, our cameraman, has he's worked closely with them and done some of this before. So what we actually went through the training with them, or with you guys. I was on let's see, Hank, you were on the other team, right? But we were split up into,
me and Hank were on the team.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. Yeah. But so the idea was I kind of go through it, experience it, see it firsthand what it's like from that side too. And we had Gage kind of running it, and we had that talk too about the meals. Like, man, you gotta at least warn people if you're not gonna feed them, like intentionally gonna starve them or something like that.
The Guns Out TV guys literally got off a plane, went back to their hotel room, and then got into this. So those guys weren't even trying to hear it. You know,
they were worn out.
Yeah, well,
And I think they
like
had a
when you're
couple days like that beforehand too.
yeah, I mean, we're talking about some dudes who are walking
Sorry.
around showing off their arms and everything. So those guys count calories and have to get certain intake. What was your opinion of this, Jesse? You were there. You were there.
No,
What's your
at
opinion?
least from my side,
Mhm.
it was really fun because we were able to apply everything that me and my buddies do all the time, but we don't really have that setting where we can literally stack everything we do all into one single thing.
Mhm.
It was really cool, especially working with people you don't know.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
quite a challenge.
Yeah, I think that those guys were Green Berets, right? Who remembers the name of
Correct.
those guys? I think one was everyone named Tim?
Wade.
Wade. Okay,
Chris
there was
Sims, Wade Morris, and Chris Sims.
okay, Wade and Chris, right? Yeah, and they were great guys. I think at the end they were like, oh yeah, when we heard some of you guys were YouTubers or whatever, we were expecting this to be horrible. You guys would be trying to tell us what to do or whatever. Which is not, like, I don't know where that really comes from. I don't know what YouTubers or content creators are out there doing that, but so far as I know, you go to do training stuff, you shut up and follow instructions. Yeah. So,
No,
mhm. Go for it.
no, sorry, I was agreeing with you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, listen, I'm not trying to tell you, it was more fun when it was over than actually doing it, okay? That's all I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to say, but it was fun. It was fun, like, Jesse and I, so here's what happened. We did practice all day, right?
Mhm.
And then ran through this all day, and then at night, they told us we're actually going to walk through the actual town of Fort Scott. Not a fake town, not a Hollywood town. We're going to walk through this town at midnight with a whole bunch of gear on, okay, and airsoft guns. Okay, they've got those little orange tips on them, and then, we couldn't have actual ammo, so if we got it, like, we couldn't have real guns and ammo and all that stuff, so if we got into something, we couldn't shoot back. But I don't know if the people of Fort Scott knew these rules.
I had plates on.
I can tell you from
Oh, you have, okay, yeah. Yeah. That was worse for you, Jesse. You had more equipment on. Uh-huh. Yeah, what was that, Ryan? What?
On previous runs where we've done it, it's funny to see the rumors and the Facebook chats across town blowing up with like door cams and everything out, and all the comments like what they were gonna do and all this kind of stuff. It's hilarious.
Oh, the people of the
imagine.
town? Really? Oh, yeah. We were scared.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
we were scared.
Yeah.
I was scared. I'll tell you, I'm not. Jesse, maybe
Well, the
Jesse wasn't
pyros are
scared,
enough.
but I was scared. I was like, I'm gonna get
having
killed.
so much fun.
Yeah. I know you were having fun, Jesse. I know you were in your element. And Jesse was completely. He was completely geared up, and he was in it. I mean, all of us were really geared up, but I was like, oh my god, how's this gonna look on the news, man? Died in Fort Scott. People are like, what the hell is he even doing in Fort Scott? And then supposedly you guys told the deputies out there what we were doing, but the shift that you told came off duty, and then the new duty shift that came on didn't have any idea of what was happening. Do you remember that part?
Yeah.
I remember it because Ryan was
They showed
hiding
up for the
behind the
fireworks.
cars shooting
Yeah,
at him.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So just to let you guys know what happened, they didn't tell these deputies. Then we're walking around the town, and we were with Wade, right, Jesse? I think it was Wade. He was like the leader of our group, and this is so nuts. So because they did this thing all day, and then at night we went out to do this mission. Actually, part of the mission, let me back up for a second. Part of the mission, we had to go across some train tracks in Fort Scott. So we're actually walking through the town. We're walking, like, it was pouring down rain and all that kind of stuff, so I'm getting wet now carrying all this stuff. I tripped over a couple times and fell in a ditch, that was just filled with water at night. We didn't have, like, a night vision or anything like that. And then we get to the train tracks, we're supposed to cross it, and there's actually a train out there with an engineer. And then Wade is like, okay, guys, we got to stop here. I think this is dangerous. People could actually see us. Something might happen. He actually he got scared. When he got scared, I was like, oh shit. If the Green Beret guy is scared, this could be the end for me. Well, am I making this up? Jesse? I'm not.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
But if he said go ahead, I was gonna be first. I was like, let's go.
Yeah, Jesse was ready to go, man. I was like, oh please, yeah, let's go back. Let's go back to headquarters right now. 42 Chilled said, and Hank got killed. And the news would be something like Florida man dies in Kansas. So we did all of that, and then we actually where was it? Then we raided a place that we didn't even know at all. So we did all the training. Then we went to some warehouse or something, like an old warehouse you guys have that we didn't go to, right?
Right. So yeah, we have another kind of abandoned warehouse that we'd used for that kind of stuff, and it's a really cool setting for hostage, rescue type stuff, because it looked like that. I mean, we've done some other filming and gotten some footage from there.
Yeah, I thought I was going to die in that place. Yeah. Several times I thought I was going to die. I don't. When is the footage of this actually coming out so people could see that I'm not exaggerating? This was like an old warehouse that there was just like wide open stuff everywhere. It was dark. They had the bad guys had night vision and we didn't. Jesse, did you have night vision? No,
they wouldn't let me wear it.
Yeah, so we didn't have night vision. We're walking around an old ass warehouse. I was like, I'm gonna die, break some bones. Something bad's gonna happen to me in this place. This whole thing could have been like a movie. And I know there was camera guys out there running around with us too, getting footage. So we've got a couple of seconds. We're going to take this quick break, and we're going to come back here, and these guys will tell you if I'm making it up. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like High Point Firearms and Full Forge Gear, bags and gear for everyday life. Did you know High Point is an American family-owned and operated company located in Ohio with over 30 years of manufacturing experience? High Point is proud to be the home of the working man's gun and your source for affordable handguns and carbines with a lifetime warranty. So when you're in the market, please consider High Point. Yeah, so I know that Ryan, I'm looking for the footage that okay, why is this making noise? I'm looking for the footage that you sent me, Jesse. I haven't seen it yet. But is this stuff you sent me from Guns Out? Yeah, this looks like it's from
Guns Out. Yeah, it's the Guns Out one. They did a really good job of breaking it down. It matches up exactly with yours, so I mean.
Yeah, let me see if I can get some of this to play here. Okay, I don't know why the ad is playing. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to come back to this because I'm gonna try to get it up here. So yeah, why don't you tell from your point of view what happened, Jesse? Why don't you tell everyone? Since I sound totally ridiculous.
Yeah, it was the very first when we first rolled in and the explosions were going off. Clint and wow, she's gonna be mad at me for forgetting her name. Clint and the girl. She was sitting next to me when that first explosion went off. She about jumped out of the roof of that Jeep.
Was that Katie from
Katie? That's it. Yeah.
Katie from oh my gosh, now I forgot. They're Firearms. Classic Firearms. Yeah, Katie from Classic. The same. There's a video Classic Firearms put up of her getting how to shoot a handgun lesson from Tonto. Go ahead. Sorry, Jesse.
Mm-hmm. No, and I like how you got volunteered to drive the Jeep.
Oh Lord,
you had no say in that.
Yeah, which I've never ever driven a Jeep ever. It was totally ridiculous.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, go ahead. And
when we first got to that first part of the mission, it was very hectic. There was no teamwork at all. Once we got towards inside the building, it was a lot better. But it was pretty hectic. We had a whole bunch of role players out there yelling like, I got shot, and they're screaming and yelling, and oh man, it was a blast. And it's pouring down rain so hard you can barely hear yourself, and even with the roof over top, you can just hear it slamming down on the roof.
Mm-hmm.
And of course it's dark out, white lights everywhere. you hear BB, zig, 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 everybody's shooting and stuff. It was fun. That first one was fun. The second one, though, the second warehouse was extremely fun. That one was awesome. Now, there was a lot of stuff to trip over. And funny thing, the next day, we went and filmed some night vision stuff in it. And I talked to Gage, and I was like, hey, this door right here, I'm glad I didn't go into that door yesterday.
You'd be dead.
He was like, wait, this door? He's like, this door? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, flip, that's the elevator shaft. We probably should have crossed that off or something.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I know. I was looking at things like, I can't believe they're just letting us run around in this place we've never been in. Yeah. Those what were the not the disclosures, but the things we had to sign. Those things were for real.
Waivers.
The waivers. Yeah. I was like, man, I regret signing that waiver.
Yeah.
No one died. No one died for real. I don't know if did anyone. No one really got hurt or anything like that. So far as I can remember.
I don't think so.
No. Now, so the thing is, when we're doing this crazy thing in the the second mission that Jesse's talking about, the deputies showed up over there. Do you remember that, Jesse?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember Ryan hiding behind the squad cars and still shooting at him, and BBs are hitting the squad cars.
Yeah. And the deputies are just sitting there like having a good old time. I was like, these guys.
I took cover behind the. I was like, it's gonna get pinged. I was like, it's gonna break a window.
And other Ryan, which I don't know if you guys really know other Ryan. I've got pictures of him somewhere here, but he's like the what is Ryan, like the president of Fort Scott Munitions, CEO? I don't know what his title is, Mad Genius or whatever.
All the above.
Yeah. But Ryan was playing a bad guy and shooting from the darkness. And then, so this Ryan is shooting back at him, and the deputies are just sitting in their cars, and you could just hear the BBs like ping, 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 hitting all over. And I was like, wow, these guys are they're actually pretty cool. I guess they don't care
what happens. They're just drinking their coffee.
Yeah, they were just chilling. They were hanging out with us later, so. It was fun. I had fun. I think the hardest part for me was when we had to carry one of the guys out on the stretcher. That was tough, man. I was like, oh my god, we need to put this dude down.
We were already winded from, I mean, what was that, hour 3 or 4 or something like that?
After midnight. How far?
Yeah.
How far did it go? When did we start after the training stuff? Did we start at 10 or something like that? 10 o'clock at night?
We started at
10-2,
9:30 something.
Yeah. So
Something
by the
like
time
that.
we were coming out with that guy, it was sometime after midnight, maybe 12:30 or something like that in the morning. So
and he was not a small guy.
I've actually been there.
Next time you guys need to carry me. Everyone needs to carry me through there. We'll see what the hell. And then we'll see who's a badass. Go ahead,
I've
Ryan.
been the role player before too. I've been the role player for this type of stuff too. And so Adam LaRoche, former MLB player, is the one with E3. Is the one who kind of hosts a lot of this stuff. And I've been in situations, and it's even for pro baseball players. It would carry me one time the same night. It was pouring down rain, everything, and I'm getting poured on, and the thing is just catching the rain like a funnel, and I'm literally just sitting in this cold bathtub. But it's crazy. Oh, and the Jeep we drove was one of Adam's apparently, and I had never driven this thing.
Oh yeah, that old zombie
you had it
apocalypse.
good, Hank, let me tell you. Yes. I'm driving at one point. The vent system didn't work, so it's raining, so it's fogging up. We can't see, and we're the lead vehicle. We're trying to rub down the screen here, and as we're driving at one point, the rear view mirror literally fell off on us at one point, and then we were right next to those pyros. If I would have opened the door, I'm pretty sure they would have gone off in the vehicle.
Yeah, so they were setting off explosions.
I did the same thing you did. I jumped over it.
I'm gonna tell you, the people of Fort Scott, you people, God bless the people of Fort Scott. You guys are way too nice to these Fort Scott Munitions dudes. They get away with way too much stuff, man. I don't know how you guys let them get away with all this stuff in this town, because they are crazy. That vehicle that you're talking, what was that a Bronco? Was that like a?
I think it was an old Bourbon. It's an old Bourbon.
Oh yeah, it's an old Suburban, and it's all bedline. It looks like a zombie apocalypse vehicle. It's like lifted bedline. We couldn't even get the guy in there. Do you remember that? The guy on the stretcher. They're like, oh yeah, you gotta carry him in. I was like, oh no, we can't carry this dude into this thing.
What movie was that? Like Hot Shot or something like that? It was an exact replay of that. I was cracking up when I saw that.
Yeah, it was so ridiculous, and the whole and then we're just driving around the town, and I'm in a Jeep with all this gear and stuff. I can't even like steer. We couldn't see either in that Jeep. And I was like, oh, these guys are crazy. They're going to actually let me drive this Jeep around this town? You know? I don't know. It was fun. It was fun. I got to say it was fun. Big shout out. I see Vanessa Kitty's out there. Brian Quick says, rule number 1 of Zombieland, cardio. Yeah, you got. And Cruiseman says, the hardest part for Hank was everything. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And then we had to do training with Tonto the next day. That went for 2 days.
Yep.
Yeah. That was, yeah, so.
Where did you go when we were running, Hank? Where'd you go?
Tonto. So I did the first day training. I did all that stuff. The second day I did most of the stuff. And then Tonto was like, you know what?
Blast like that.
No, that's cool. No, I already talked about this. Tonto was like, you know what, Hank, you look like you've like, you know, you've been doing some crazy stuff all this time. Don't push yourself, you know, because I was really a little bit out of it. And then there were some other guys that were also, you know, a little bit out of it or injured or whatever. And then here's what happened, Jesse. I'm not making this up. You can ask Ryan. I have proof of this. The guys from GOA said that they did not get a tour because Fort Scott Munitions guys were more interested in torturing everyone with training than actually showing off the facilities. So the guys from GOA were going to get on a plane, and they said, no, we didn't even like see the facilities. We didn't see the store. And I was like, oh, guess what? I'm going to volunteer to take you. I'm going to volunteer to take you to the store. And then I got Ryan, and I went with the GOA guys. I think it was me.
Jared Giannis went too because he had pulled his hammy on day 1.
Yeah. Oh, Guns and Gadget was he was messed up doing that competition thing with you guys. So I was like, hey man, this is like a perfect excuse right here. We're breaking out. So that's what we did, Jesse. I'm not.
I was just asking.
I came
you don't
back,
have to get so defensive.
I came back at the end and helped you helped load some ammo when you were running. You were looking good. You were looking good, Jesse, running up and down. Congratulations.
I was hurting.
Yeah, I know
I was hurting.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, I don't even know, man, how it was fun. It was some intense stuff out there, so and there were a lot of cool folks out there, you know. Who was it? I think what was his name from Tactical Shit was there. I think with
TJ.
TJ. And that was that TJ's son that was with him from Tactical Shit also?
Yep, Alex.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Those two are funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. TJ's no joke, man. Because I think he's older than me, and he was out there the whole damn time kicking ass. Yeah.
Yeah, he was killing it.
TJ's a beast.
Yeah, he's great. He's a monster. Because he goes to me one time, he's like, check this out. I'm going to go kick these young guys' ass right here. And I was like, oh, shit. And then he went out there and did it, and I was like, damn, man. You know, I don't know what he has for breakfast, but he is no joke. Who else was at this event that you guys can remember, so we give everyone a proper shout-out?
Braden Langley with Langley Outdoors Academy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Guns and Gadgets, Jared Giannis. Let's see. You guys, obviously. Guns Out TV.
Guns Out TV guys were there showing off their arms. Yeah. Yeah. They were showing.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day they were doing that. I think I have pictures. Let me see if I can pull up some pictures. They were trying. They said they kept pulling up their the sleeves of their arms because they were trying to. They didn't want to get trucker arm They're like allergic. They don't want to get trucker arms on their
Call that
muscles.
farmer's tan.
Farmer's tan, yeah, yeah, that thing. So that's why they were doing that, but they were... Yeah, see, hold on. Here's a picture. Here's a picture of those guys. Let me see if I can get this here. Boom. That's a picture of those guys with Tonto right there. Look. They didn't want to get... They were showing off the arms. They were... I can see what they're talking about. They were actually... I don't know what you could do. They were going to get it anyway. So there you go. Yeah, who else? What's the list of everyone was there? GOA was there.
Mm-hmm.
I remember. Let me see.
Yeah, the sponsors were GOA, Daniel Defense, Tactical Stuff, and E3 Firearms, which is part of Tonto.
Okay.
And then obviously the 5 copper ticket winners themselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Actually, here's that picture that I have of everything. Let's see if we could pull the pictures up of everyone here. So they were all the guys. There's TJ right there, and then the guys that trained with Battle Line. There you go. We're going through. There's me right here.
Clint.
Yeah, Clint is here from Classic. There's there was a whole crew from Classic Firearms in there.
I'm not even looking at the camera.
Yeah. I'm trying to... Oh, there you go. Yeah. What are you doing?
Jesse, I can't see you, man. You're
yeah, this is Jesse. Yeah, right there. He's blending in.
I had to be that guy.
Yeah.
I had to be that guy.
Yeah. Johnny was there from Daniel Defense, actually. Big shout out to Johnny. He's a cool dude.
He is.
Yeah. So it was cool, man. It was fun. Here's some of the winners. Right here in the middle are some of the winners of the copper ticket thing. So
yep. We got Michael, Anthony, let's see, Rob, and oh man,
wasn't it John?
Yeah, I think so. Wait, Rob, Anthony.
Yeah, Vanessa Kitty says that
I got his,
Jesse
I got his
was
face.
looking at something in his hand.
He's Virginia. I'm blanking on his name. I got his face though.
Okay.
It'll come to me.
Is that one of the winners you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's a picture of me with Clint from Classic Firearms in the background. Yeah. And Katie right there.
And
There's
Katie there too.
Yeah, they were photobombing me deliberately.
Yep.
It was funny when we were in that store, there were customers that came in there at 9 o'clock for some reason. I don't know what the hell, people. Why is that store even open? And then people were coming in there like, what the hell's happening? Why are there all these dudes in here?
That's third shift manufacturing actually coming through.
Oh, okay. That was the folks who work over there. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Pumping those bullets out.
Yeah. It was fun. I don't have any shame that I dipped out there. I was working. That's what I know.
Yeah.
I kept it official, Jesse.
That's good.
It was still cardio. We had to get out of the car and walk around. I'm trying to say it with a straight face.
That running day was rough.
No, that
day was rough.
Yeah, I was looking on your YouTube. There's a video. Let me see. Where is it? I'm gonna pull up your YouTube channel. There's a video of you running. I was looking at it today. There was a video on your YouTube channel of you doing it. But I'm having a really tough time pulling up stuff here. Let me see. Knuckle down dynamics. I'm gonna bring it up and show everyone. Okay, but listen, we're also in Gorn, so we got to start showing some guns, and then we'll even let the Gorn run over into the next thing. So who wants to go first while I'm oh crap, I hit the button and reset the Gorn, so that's crazy. Who wants to show? Oh, did I lose you guys? Okay. Oh, what? Oh crap. Oh no. Hey, sorry guys, I think for some reason I lost you guys here. Let me see. And
we
then
back?
I don't know if we're back. I hope we're back. My computer's doing some weird stuff. So I'm not sure if we're still feeding out to people out there. Let me know, because something crazy just happened here, and I just lost my internet thing that I was on, and I don't really know why.
See here.
Yeah. I might lose you guys again here too. Let me see if I could figure out exactly what's going on here. Or we'll just let it go. We'll just let it go for a second here. Yeah, who's got some Gorn they want to show off right now? Yeah.
So I got I can pull up that Daniel defense from the. You trying to go to the guns? You said.
Yeah. Let's show some Daniel defense stuff. That's cool.
So we got the giveaway gun here that we're running.
Very cool. What Daniel defense is that?
DDM4 V7. It's a 5.56, 16-inch. Yeah. DDM4 V7. So.
Okay. Very cool. And I should probably pull up something of the giveaway official. I'll probably bring that up. It's weird. I'm not on my normal internet thing, but we're able to do it. What's that? So show all the stuff. There's 10. Tell everyone about this giveaway, Ryan. I'll let you go for that right now.
Yeah. So we followed that Copper Ticket event up with kind of a sponsors deal where they all participated in a big email giveaway. So it's an email sign-up giveaway, no purchase necessary. Just sign up with your email. But basically, Daniel Defense is throwing in the mags, the DDM4 V7. It's essentially a $10,000 value once you get everything in. You get a signed copy of 13 Hours, and it's like the special edition from Tonto, and then some of his swag, some of his signed shirts, and he threw in a Vortex Venom.
Oh, cool.
Let's see, 5 to 25 by.
Yeah, we see it.
We're throwing in 200 rounds here not 200, 1,000 rounds, 2 cases of our TUI ammo, and we have. Hang on, Hank. Let me get you here. Got your patches. So here we go.
Yeah. So there's there is actually a link that you guys can go to. And fill out this form here, and that's how you get into this giveaway for anyone who wants to know. I think Lolo will probably put that in the chat, in the description or something like that, so everyone can go there. I think it's going till June 30th, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, through the end of this month. Yeah, and there's even like another Tonto threw in another training day course. GOA threw in a life membership and some signed books and swag. All the companies threw swag in. It's a pretty nice setup. Daniel Defense, I think, has another $100 gift certificate to their store. We're throwing in $100 to our store. It adds. It's adding up big.
Yeah, absolutely. So Jesse, did you have something that you wanted to show? I'm actually going to do the break, and then we'll come back into that. Let me see if I can make this break thing happen.
Yeah, go ahead.
With Armslist, you can shop the extensive list of local and nationwide firearms classified, now with more confidence because of their built-in firewall. For only $6.99 a month for personal use, or $30 a month for business vendors. So when you're in the market, please consider Armslist. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Armslist. Okay, so Jesse, what did you have? I don't know. Hopefully we'll get Ryan back in here. Oh, here he goes.
Yeah.
I think he's dialing in now. Yeah, go for it, man. What you got?
I got a Mark 18 build here. This is what I used at the event.
Okay.
We've got a Surefire Dead Air can on it. Surefire Dead Air. It's a Dead Air.
Yeah.
It's a Dead Air Sandman K. But yeah, this is by far my favorite rifle that I run.
So okay, so that's like explain the Mark 18.
Yeah, it's basically a clone build of Daniel Defense's Mark 18. So this is their rail, but everything else is just a hodgepodge of parts that I've put together over the years.
Very cool, very badass You know. So did you use that? You used that for the whole thing at the end where we were doing rifles, right? Or the whole rifle part of?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
Very nice. All right, cool. And here's something that, and I think that Daniel Defense just came out with a new version of this. So, I believe that they did, but this is my DDM4 ISR. That's what I'm gonna show off here to everyone. It's the only Daniel Defense that I own. It is 300 blackout, integrally suppressed.
Nice.
And yeah, you know, yeah, my first integrally suppressed rifle here. So I'm pretty, I'm pretty proud of it. You know, bought it with my own money. So
I like the AACS on there. The primary arms.
Yes, this is. Let me see, which one is it? Yeah. I think this is the 300. It's for the. It's. Let me see. Hold on. I think it's the 7.62 by 39. So 300 blackout / 7.62 by 39 ACSS. That's what's on there. I've had that for a while, and I've got some wrap on there because I'll tell you what, this integrally suppressed barrel gets really, really, really hot. Very hot.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, everything else I think is pretty much as I bought it. So I don't think there's any like major. There's no real modifications to this. I don't think so. Very cool. And I have another 300 blackout that's integrally suppressed, and this one. But you know, Daniel Defense. There you go. I think we all show Daniel Defense rifles right now. So I tried to jack one of the Daniel Defense rifles at this training thing, but they wouldn't. You know, Johnny was real tight, man. He wouldn't let me walk out.
No, he was.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he double checked everything or triple checked everything after I was looking around at those guns. Yeah. So yeah. So let's see. Do you want to get back into some more details? I know we kind of like lost everything here when we were talking about the giveaway. Do you want to get back into those details, Ryan, and tell people where they can go to get the giveaway going?
Yeah, so FortScottMunitions.com. We got it on our homepage. It's one of the blow-ups, or one of the hero images. But basically click on there, get signed up, and that's all it takes. So, yeah.
Okay.
I think I covered most of the other thing, the items in it. I'm sure I forgot something here. But E3 is throwing in a lifetime membership, too, to their Firearms Firearms membership. GOA is, I'm trying to think.
Yeah, Lola just put a link in there under my name. So if you look for in the comment section on Utreon, there's a link directly to it. But I think it's also in the description for you guys. So yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah, and you can win some very expensive Hank Strange patches that Ryan was showing there. Those patches are like $1,000 each. No,
should have bumped that giveaway up to 11,000.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in the giveaway. So go to Fort Scott on Instagram or Facebook or anywhere that you guys want to, and you're actually gonna find all the info for that if you're looking for it. So. And then is there as part of this thing, is there stuff where people could get like extra entries, or is it just one entry? How's that working?
I believe it's just one entry at this point, for keeping it simple, but
okay.
Yeah,
so it's just this form that I'm showing here, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So you just go there, you fill it out one time, so yeah. Are Jesse and I, are we eligible for this, or are we disqualified?
It's funny how many people who are like within the ties of everything are asking that question because they want it too.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, I couldn't do it. Go ahead.
I had my wife sign up.
Oh, there you go. That's your wife is totally
eligible.
You
wouldn't be
the first.
Yeah. No, and if whoever wins it, and if there's the firearms courses from Battle Line, I'll probably be there, so you get to,
Yeah,
we'll shoot together.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I wouldn't take that from another person out there. I wouldn't really want to win it, That's not cool. People
You
will
can come
see
out
me.
here anytime, Hank.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not past making up some names though. I don't know if well, I guess no. At some point, there's guns involved here. You're gonna have to do a background check. So you can't actually get away with that.
I can see it all unraveling in the office right now. Ryan goes in there and goes, Jeff Goldblum won this thing, but for some reason the FFL is requesting Hank Strange.
Yeah. I was gonna be like, Jeff was here, man. He just wants it to come over here to me.
Yeah.
He's from Cali. He couldn't ship the gun there.
Yeah,
so,
he's in Cali.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm his proxy. Lola wants to know how many winners will there be? Is there just one winner that's getting everything, or are you guys splitting it up?
It's one grand winner, or gets the whole shebang. So.
Okay. Oh,
I like it.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy. Yeah. Let me see if we can get some more graphic stuff up there. I'm gonna try to go to the Fort Scott Instagram here, see if I can pull it up.
And I can send you that Google Drive folder with all that content too, if you want.
Okay. Yeah, how many, you know what? Yeah, so when people are going to Fort Scott, is there still, I know in the past you guys were having some issues with someone out there using Fort Scott munitions. Are you still having that problem, or?
We are, and we're having a real hard time fighting that. It's fortscottmunitions.org, so that's the fraudulent website. And they've got fake ammo. It's a scam. We've had our lawyers trying to look into it and fight it for. It's a big pain in our side because we get calls in the store all the time. People are getting,
Yeah, I just saw it
on there. So
yeah, I just saw it up. I just saw it there. So you guys can go though to Instagram and find it, and you can find the links and all that through Instagram. I was just looking at it, and at first it was showing me like another thing, and I was like, "There's no way this can't be these guys." So just look out for that when you're doing all this stuff. But let me see here. I think I've got everything loaded. I could show you guys. I could go through this this giveaway. It's from May 31st to June 30th. So there you go. What's this lifetime membership with E3 Firearms Association mean?
So E3 Firearms, Chris Pronto is part owner of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it started as E3 Camping, and they're really big in the overland world.
Okay.
And they have memberships and different, like, their members get exclusive deals to things. They get
cool.
It's behind the scenes subscription things where they have just a whole variety package of offerings. That's really cool. And now they're getting into the firearm side of it too.
Okay. Very cool. Okay. I'm into overlanding. Yeah, and so here's the Daniel Defense DDM4 V7 Black. So there you go. And DD Mag 12 pack and $100 gift certificate. That's right there. Some tactical shit, plate carrier, body armor. So that's cool. And obviously ammo, 1,000 rounds of 223. And $100 gift card from you guys. And then you were showing the Vortex Venom and the 2-day course with Tonto and the swag and everything signed by Tonto. And of course the patches, which you just showed. Showed there. So I don't think it's that particular. Did Lola send you a different patch?
Those are the ones we got.
Okay, yeah.
There's several in there, but yeah. And we are. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the Hell in the Handbasket patch, I think.
It is. Yep.
For anyone who, So I don't have one here, but if you can show that again for people, anyone who wants to see.
I got you.
Yeah.
So let's see, right there. It's a cool patch here.
There you go. Yeah, that's the one that says 2020 was Hell in a Handbasket. But the Hell in the Handbasket has continued. I know that's like a couple of years ago, man.
Yes.
We're never getting out of the frickin' handbasket.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. What's that? What were you showing?
So that's one of our copper ticket patches. We're throwing in some of those too. So
okay.
So since this is a continuation of that event, there'll be some of that swag from the event too.
Okay. And so, yeah. Jesse, I don't think we ever got into this, so this is probably as good a time as any other. What's your background here? Like, what what training stuff have you done before, before you got into training and everything?
Yeah, a lot of it, well, from the very beginning, I'm a civilian. I've never served or anything. I just saw some dudes on the internet and was like, man, that's pretty cool that they're that prepared and equipped for to protect themselves and their family. And so I just dove off into it. And I've only been around people. I haven't been to a ton of classes. A lot of it was me watching people and just teaching myself to do everything. And I learned about dry fire and started doing that. And I did that for a long time. And here we are. This is where we're at now. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's to me, it's not like a prerequisite that you be in the military or law enforcement before you do this kind of stuff. I think I'm sure you do a lot of training and all that kind of stuff, and if you put the time in and then you have an aptitude to do this kind of stuff, I think that's the really important part of it. So
yeah, my biggest goal right now is to transfer that knowledge over to other citizens and anyone really. But I want people to understand that you're a U.S. citizen. You can be prepared, and you should be. And I think it's very important. I don't want people to look down upon themselves because they are civilian. You have more time to train, and you have a lot more openly resources to do things. So I think it's super important for civilians to be performing at an extremely high level, especially because we're U.S. citizens. We got to own it. So that's we're the epitome of the Second Amendment.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree with that. I think I think you have the similar kind of background, right, Ryan? You never in the military or anything like that, were you?
No, I wasn't either. I'm a civilian. Very passionate about firearms. I've got some patents and stuff I've been working on, which actually is what built the relationship with the other Ryan, and got me transitioned into the position here. So very passionate about it, and our rights especially. I grew up overseas where, in Europe, where the liberties that we have here don't exist. So it's very important to me that we preserve those and are involved and engaged in that.
Yeah, absolutely. If I don't know, in my opinion, if you're gonna just leave it up to people in the government, regardless of who it is, if you're gonna leave your own security up to just the cops and the government and whoever and however they want to do it, then you're in big trouble.
At you,
Yeah. Brian Quick says shooting a gun well isn't magical, so there you go. And then Armament and Axis says most people that have been in the military are not gun trained experts. Yeah, not everyone specializes in handling guns when they go into the military. So, yeah. And a lot of folks go into the military but don't ever get into that, and then afterwards get more into it. So, there's a lot of ways to go about it here. So, everyone's joking around about how they're going to enter under a fake name. Don't actually do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do it. Someone put Hank Hill. Someone put I'm going to put first name, last name as the first name, last name. Yeah, good luck with that. These guys are going to probably skip you right over. And Lola wants to know.
We dealt with a lot of that.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Hank, man.
No, you're good. You're good. Go for it.
But,
yeah.
We dealt with a lot of that for the actual copper ticket entries and stuff too. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
For the event itself, where we had the 5 winners.
Okay, yeah, I could imagine. Yeah, Lola is trying to find out what did Jesse start his training to shoot with. I think you did go over it a little bit, but you can definitely.
Oh, what resources I started with, like who I was watching and stuff.
No, I think I'm assuming here she wants to know what firearm.
Oh, what firearm? So my first pistol was a Springfield Armory XD,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it worked really good at the time. And then I moved on to the Glock platform,
Mm-hmm.
and I got to a point where I had a ton of Glocks, and couldn't shoot any of them really well. So I sold all of them, and I got into just one single Glock 19. And then I found Shadow Systems, and I've been running Shadows ever since. I'm a sponsor shooter for Shadow Systems,
Mm-hmm.
and their guns are phenomenal. I've shot thousands and thousands of rounds through their guns. But yeah, I use a Shadow Systems MR920L currently for my handgun.
Oh, okay.
Which is this guy right here.
So this is what you carry every day?
Yeah, this is what I carry every day. It's a 19 size frame with a 17 link slide,
Just
and
hold that up
all
a little
of
bit.
Shadow Systems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, cool. Okay.
All of their components, they don't buy anything. They manufacture it all in-house. So it is a complete manufactured gun from Shadow, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of people do that nowadays. So.
Oh, very nice. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. What do you carry every day, Ryan? While we're on the subject of that, is Ryan still out there? Yeah. What?
It's a
abomination. Okay.
Yep.
Why? Why you say that? Don't be shy. What is it?
Polymer frame 1911.
Oh.
EA.
Okay.
EAA polymer frame 1911.
Yeah. What's wrong? There's nothing wrong with that.
So.
Yeah. So you just like a 1911
well, you
guy?
get 1911 and then you get polymer on it.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I really like. I've tried going like with a P365 and stuff, but my hands and I fumble it coming out, and I really like having a solid grip when I come out of the draw and stuff. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like that full size.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's a commander size, I guess, but.
Right. Yeah. Night Train says Shadow Systems will replace any pistol that is confiscated by the police if it is a legit defensive shooting. So
yes, that is correct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And Lola's just asking a bunch of questions here. Like, so she wants to know what you compete in. Is it pistol, rifle, shotgun? I'm assuming it's all of those, but you can definitely cover that. And then she wants to know what was the optic or something like that you just had on that handgun.
Yeah, I started out doing USPSA, and I started out with just pistol, and then I got into the rifle stuff too. I tried to hit that super hard for quite a while, for a year or two, but now that I see more USPSA as a training tool and not an every weekend type thing. I think it's good to go and get yourself put some pressure on and test yourself and see where you're at. But for me, I just I don't have the time to go every other weekend and do that kind of stuff. But that may not be like everybody else. Somebody else may love it and do that all the time. Just my local USPSA, that their view on guns and stuff, it's more of a sport, so it's really hard. When I show up in my gear and stuff, you get a bunch of funny looks. But it's but we got to influence our local community, and that's why we still try to go to them and stuff. Mm-hmm. The optic I have on is just a Trigicon. I've actually had this Trigicon for I think 6 years now. Mm-hmm. So that optic has a lot of rounds through it.
Okay, yeah, that's good. I mean, that's good information to get here. Okay, so Armid and Axes is also harassing me to show off some stuff that he sent in the Gorn category. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of a DAO, or decentralized autonomous organization like TUSC Crypto. TUSC cryptocurrency is a firearm-friendly e-commerce option for online payment transactions, secured on the blockchain. So when you're in the crypto market, please consider TUSC, TUSC. All right, yeah. So like I just said, getting a whole bunch of different. There's a whole bunch of different requests coming through here at the same time from everyone. But yeah, let's show off. This is from Armament and Axis. This is his M&P Pro series right there that he just got. So he's showing that off for Gorn. Congratulations to you, Armament and Axes out there.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you're happy now. I showed it off. There you go. And let's see what else there is in there. There was some. Oh, you know what? I had, while we were talking about all this stuff, lately I have really gotten into Walther, and they sponsor the podcast, which they have for a long time, but they've never ever put any pressure on me to like carry a Walther or anything like that. But I do. I carry a PPS M2. But this is what I used when we were out there training. This is the PDP from Walther, and that's what I brought out there with me, and that's what I was using the whole time, and it was great. You know, I really enjoyed it. I actually brought my my older PPQ as my backup, but I didn't really have to go to it. So there you go. And this stuff, and the PDP works great with the Fort Scott munitions. So that's good info for you guys to know out there. Yeah, it is. Actually, my PPS, my M2 does not, believe it or not. So I don't know if you were there when I went through that whole thing, Ryan, but the Fort Scott munitions 9mm is very pointy, and the PPS, the ramp is like split for some crazy reason. There's like a little gap there, and that pointy stuff gets caught on that gap all the time. So I don't actually run Fort Scott munitions in that, but it works great in the PDP.
Yeah, we've heard that from some of those. You're not the only one who said that. Yeah, I don't think I was around for that, like you said, but yeah, I've heard the same thing.
I mean, it happens. Like I think I said that earlier. You know, not everything works in everything, so you really have to go through whatever you're going to use, especially defensively. You know, from time to time, you need to actually get out there and test whatever it is you're going to carry, and be aware of that when you're carrying. So. You know, and I definitely, I went through and tested all kinds of ammo, and it does, we did a bunch of things to the gun to try to make it work better. It just, if something's not 100%, I'm not necessarily going to carry that, so that's just how that works, but it works really great. That's why I brought the PDP with me. I wanted to, shoot as much Fort Scott munitions 9mm as possible and test it out, so...
Love it.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me do that. I don't know what the round count was, but what do you think the round count was, Jesse, when we were doing that the handgun stuff?
Oh man.
Do you have any idea what you put through yours, or do you
no,
guys?
No.
Does Ryan? Do you have any idea? How much ammo did you guys for everyone out there?
We accounted for 500 rounds rifle and pistol each, so 1,000 rounds per person.
Mm-hmm.
And we came back with, so that would be, let's see, there were 18 participants. I could do the math on that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
18%, so that's 18,000 rounds if we're doing rifle and pistol.
Mm-hmm.
And we came back 4 cases of each, so 4,000. So I guess 14,000 rounds.
Oh wow! Okay.
So
yeah.
it was close
pretty
to
good.
500 rounds each. I'd say a good 400 rounds each.
Yeah. So I know Jesse was using. I was using the PDP. Jesse was using the Shadow systems out there, and I know I saw some Glocks. I'm trying to think of what because everyone had lots of different
2011s.
Guns. Yeah, 2011s.
Yeah. The Guns Out TV guys had the 2011s.
Oh, of course.
they were not only flexing on us, but they were flexing on us.
Yeah. Those guys are ridiculous, man.
You're right.
We need to get them back on the show. They're so funny. They're
hilarious.
Yeah, man. They're great guys. I'm trying to think. One of the guys that won the
Clint had an M7 or M17.
What was it that Clint had?
The M17, the SIG.
Oh, okay.
Right? Isn't that the M17? Is that right?
Okay. Yeah. And then I'm trying to think. There was one of the guys that won that had something that was a little different. I'm trying to remember what it was that guy had.
Didn't he have a Beretta?
Was it a Beretta?
I think so.
That's right.
Yeah. So there was
Yeah.
some, and I don't think anyone had any issues out there with anything. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Let's see. I'm just trying to see if I'm getting all the different comments and stuff like that in here. So, all right. Um, yeah. So what does what do you guys have like on your radar so far as all this stuff going on? I'm trying to see okay. Yeah. What do you guys have on your radar so far as the gun world right now? Like, what are you all looking at? What are things that you're following? Do you guys follow this politics and all that?
Yeah, for
I'm a
me,
little
it's kind
behind.
of,
But I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry.
yeah, it's overwhelming.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I wouldn't blame you for that. I know a lot of gun guys kind of are following it but not trying to get super caught up in it because it kind of like grinds your nerves down and all that kind of stuff, and so um you were going to say something, Ryan. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, Jesse, man. This lag is killing me.
No,
But
you're
Yeah.
good.
no,
Yeah.
I'm a little bit behind news-wise with everything else going on. But I've been trying to stay. I'm a couple days behind, but other than that, I've been following it closely. To me, I think this is important in fighting in that arena as it is, the physical actually going out and shooting. Because if we lose it, it's going to be hard to maintain.
Yeah.
Keep doing this.
Yeah, I mean nowadays those guys out there pretty much are going for everything, and it's just disheartening
Yeah.
when you see like what even Republicans are doing out there. So the compromising that you're seeing happening in the Senate, hopefully it doesn't happen in the House, but it's definitely happening in the Senate, and they're pushing through red flags and a whole bunch of other things, which we already have. The weird thing about what's happening here is we have all these laws already, unfortunately, and they're already not doing anything. So now we're going to layer that, there's states that have stuff, and then there's already federal stuff. Now we're going to put in extra layers there to make things complicated. I would really encourage folks, even though it is, yeah, even though it's it's a tough deal, right? It grinds on your nerves and all that to keep up with all this stuff. You really do want to keep the pressure on the politicians, especially the ones that represent you. Like I'm in Florida, Jesse, you're in Missouri, I think, right?
Hmm. Yep.
Yeah, and in Kansas, to let them know that we're really. I know I'm not going to support any politicians out there that vote for this stuff and put any of this
Right.
into law.
GOA makes this really easy to contact those people too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
do a phenomenal job. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
they
would-
are true. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I mean, I think that and I saw the Guns Out TV guys talking about that, right? That you with GOA, you sign up for GOA. They can send you stuff. They can send you forms and all that, and help you out when you're communicating with these guys, whether you're calling them, sending them emails, and all of that. We really just have to keep up the pressure. Are any of you following what's happening with the Supreme Court when it comes to this? I know there's supposed to be a decision coming out from the Supreme Court here before they wrap up.
I haven't heard.
Okay.
I haven't been
I'm
able to
behind
keep
on
up
that
with
one
it.
yet too. I'm not up
Yeah.
to speed. Yeah.
Well, I think that there's I think is it the New York Pistol and Rifle Club has a case that the Supreme Court has been looking at. They really haven't taken up any Second Amendment things in a while, but this is
Right.
one that is on the docket, and then I think they're closing out in the next week or so. And so right now everyone is waiting. Of course, the big one that's in the news is Roe v. Wade, right?
Right.
That decision leaked, but the other one that's expected to affect us in the gun world is this New York case when it comes to the Second Amendment. So, and I think that we're going to get a positive result out of it. Hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully, the Supreme Court's not intimidated, into not supporting the Second Amendment or not shoring up the Second Amendment. But that's 42 Chilled says that's it's related to carry in New York City. That's one of the most difficult places to get a carry permit in New York City. And there's several things that came up, but this particular one, the Supreme Court, I think, is going to put a decision out on it. So that's a big deal. When you guys hear that one come out, that's a big deal to look at. And all the tea leaves say that that's going to be positive for us. But you know,
yeah.
it's kind of weird, and it's kind of weird in all the stuff that's going on. What's that, Ryan?
Right.
Yeah.
I was just agreeing with you. It's hard to have confidence in it. I hope for the best, but yeah, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you guys seen in your states, like your states doing things to shore up the Second Amendment? You know, what do you guys see happening there? So I'll start with Jesse. Like, what do you see happening in Missouri in that regards?
Here in the recent years, we've got constitutional carry now. Missouri has also done where the local departments and state are not going to be like counties and stuff. It's basically saying that they're not going to be able to help any federal agencies in investigations. So that's kind of a step towards, you know, not listening to the federal government's stupid gun laws and all that crap. But it's basically just like a protection law. It's just going to keep all our local people in our states and stuff, whether that's state, county, or city. They're keeping them from working together. You know what I mean? It's not allowing the ATF or a federal government agency to come in and require their, you know, to work with them. And I think it's even, you know, Missouri said that they would take them to court over it if ATF or whoever oversteps on that. So that's pretty cool. And I may be butchering some of that. I'm not really a law lingo guy, but yeah, I mean, it's a step forward to preserving Second Amendment. I know there's been talk of, you know, suppressors, even full auto stuff. They're just trying to, you know, we're trying to build back the Second Amendment instead of just letting it kind of float away. So
yeah, it's definitely encouraging to see that happening in states around the country where they're coming up with you know, like Second Amendment sanctuaries, etc. You know, not necessarily all of them have teeth like what you're saying. You know, you really need to put stuff in there that if the Fed tries to, you know, the federal government tries to come in there and do things, the state is going to protect the citizens of that state, you know, and not cooperate with arresting people or taking folks' rights away and all that stuff. So it's good to see a lot of that going on out here. Some states like Florida, I'm in Florida, and we've actually taken steps backwards, you know, and we don't have constitutional carry here. You know, we've been trying to push that through. So you know, it's something, I think it's really important for everyone to keep an eye on what's going on in their states and even in their counties. It's important to make sure that you know who's your local sheriff, because when the rubber meets the road on a lot of this stuff, who's your sheriff is going to make a big deal. Yeah,
right.
It's going to make a big difference.
That's huge. Yeah, that is a huge point.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of things that I'm not saying that the federal government won't try to come in and do stuff without notifying your sheriff, but because I'm sure they'll, you know, try to pull all kinds of things on people. So one of the other things that I've seen when I talk to people around the country is that and I think this came out back in May. I think that was it the Truth About Guns had an article talking about how the Biden administration has really pushed the ATF to revoke a lot of FFLs that are out there, you know. And I'm actually seeing that happening, that, you know, when they go in to do inspections and things like that, if they find infractions that in the past they would have had an opportunity to clean that up, they're just, they're trying to revoke a lot of folks' licenses out there. And I know a few people who have actually lost it. All that kind of stuff is disheartening, I think, to hear. I don't know if you guys have heard any of that.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of that too, Hank. Especially on the FFLs and getting dinged, and on the store side, we've taken, you know, precautions to mitigate some of that stuff. But yeah, we've been keeping an eye on that also.
Yeah, absolutely. Jesse, have you heard anything like that? Have you seen like any local stores having those kinds of issues?
No, not around here. I really haven't. I've just seen stuff on the internet. Around here, not that I know of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've seen some of it go into, like, even I was talking to a friend of mine in Kentucky, and he said that, like, his store, the ATF was giving them a tough time, and trying to revoke their license. There's all these weird things happening, So it's just one of these things that I 100% understand people not wanting to get burnt out on this, because I think now we've been going through this stuff almost nonstop for several years, you know even through the Trump times we were going through it. And I think there's a lot of folks out there that think, hey, these are some we had some opportunities when the Republicans had a supermajority to clear up a lot of stuff, and they didn't do it, and now we're just looking at all this, and yeah, it's I get it. I know it's frustrating for folks out there. So
So my buddy
ahead.
just texted me here. I didn't know this, but even in Missouri, I consider Missouri more of a pro guns, like a pro Second Amendment state than most.
Mhm.
But I guess our Senator Roy Blunt actually voted in favor of red flag laws. So you see, even though we have all this stuff going on, it's been going good for years. I mean, stuff can change like that, and that's why GOA and stuff like that. They're on top of stuff like that, and be able to put, like you said earlier, just put pressure on them and stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's weird when, it's not just us trying to keep watch over the left and what they're up to. There's plenty of folks on the right, plenty of Republicans. I think there were 10 Republicans around the country that, that signed on to this already. There's others who have signed on, but, they're not putting their names out there. Um,
yeah.
yeah, I think Blunt once was one of
Yeah.
those names that I heard. I'm trying to pull up the list, but I'm trying also not to kill my internet. I don't need any other problems, but I know those lists are out there. Like GOA has that stuff out there. Go ahead, Ryan. I think you were going to say something.
Yeah, in Kansas, it's very, very much like Missouri on the state level, to where they've done a really good job of securing rights. Like, we can actually, there's a gray area where we can actually manufacture suppressors and stuff like that in state, and as long as it stays within the state lines. But there was actually a case where we had a couple guys go to jail because then, like you're saying, they didn't protect the guy then when the feds came in, because some customer bought one within the state, took it across state lines, one of those deals, and then they came after the manufacturers of it, and they weren't protected from the feds.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we've got
I mean, and that's a tough one,
so
right?
technically we're sitting in a good spot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see 42 Chilled put it up here, but I also pulled this up from GOA. So this is from Eric, from Eric at GOA. It says, "This is our do or die moment. It was announced over the weekend that a gun control compromise, quote unquote, has reached 60 votes in the Senate, giving it a filibuster-proof majority. While the bill is still being drafted, here are some of the provisions the framework calls for: federal dollars to bribe state legislatures into enacting red flag gun confiscation laws, delayed and expanded background checks for citizens under 21 years old, FFL definition changes, which could be a backdoor way to universal background registration checks, establish new federal offenses related to so-called gun trafficking that could inadvertently be applied to you, making you a felon." And then here are 10 Republicans who have agreed to tear apart the Second Amendment as well as other parts of the Constitution. That's me adding that in there, but so it's John Cornyn, Tom Tillis, Roy Blunt. So John Cornyn is Texas, Tom Tillis is North Carolina, Roy Blunt, Missouri, Richard Burr, North Carolina, Bill Cassidy, Louisiana, Susan Collins, Maine, Lindsey Graham, South Carolina, Rob Portman, Ohio, Mitt Romney, Utah, Pat Toomey, Pennsylvania. So there you go. That's yeah. And I know a lot of people have seen that, and I see some folks talking about that. So that's from GOA. If you sign up for GOA, you can get all these alerts and stuff like that, and these guys will keep you informed of what's going on. And that was from Eric Pratt at GOA, who's the Who Moved My Freedom podcast is made possible by our partners at 2A Commerce. Veteran-owned and with over 20 years experience, 2A Commerce is the leader in custom e-commerce and web application development in the shooting sports industry. Clients include major brands such as Guard Dog Body Armor, Sylvan Arms, AccuFire Technologies, The Tactical Games, Warrior Knife Company, and yours truly, Hank Strange. Visit 2A Commerce and support this show by supporting them. Once again, visit the number 2acommerce.com. All right, yeah, I missed that again. My apologies for that. I was caught up in reading that thing. I didn't see the time counting down. And then Night Train says you can add the turtle Mitch McConnell to the list. And 42 Chilled says, so long as we can pressure just one senator on that list to walk away from this assault on our Second Amendment rights, the bill can be filibustered and ripped to pieces. And yeah, I think definitely these Republicans, it's all on public record here. You know, they need to hear from the people that they're supposed to represent and what those people, you know, think about what they're getting up to. So, yeah, I don't know if either one of you guys wanted to comment. Yeah, go for it, Ryan. Go for it. I know you got the delay. Yeah,
it's
mm-hmm.
It's frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's not. You know what? It's not the fun stuff. It's not the fun stuff to talk about. You know what I mean? It's kind of disappointing that you know, that we're here looking at all these things, and it's not over. I would caution people, it's not over. That's like, you know, if you ever watch that video on I'm Just a Bill on Capitol Hill, anyone watch that video? Was that?
It's been a while.
Yeah, was that in Sesame Street? What was that in? That was in some old TV show. Yeah, how they make the sausage. Go ahead, Jesse.
Wasn't there something like that in like School of Rock or whatever?
I think that's what it was, School of Rock. Yeah, I think that's where it came from. So the whole process of getting this, you know, making this actually get to law, something that gets to the president's desk and gets signed into law, it's a little bit more complicated than that, you know. And it's gonna go through from the Senate to the House, you know, and it's gonna be a completely different story there, I think. And that's probably our best opportunity to stop it. But it's just interesting how all this stuff happens. It's also interesting to see that, for example, I think I was hearing tonight before we came on the show here that there was an overwhelming majority to pass a law to beef up the security for the Supreme Court. You guys probably haven't seen that.
Nice.
Yeah. Now, the weird thing about this, I'm not saying that I'm against that, but the weird thing about it is that, you know, recently, who was it, Kavanaugh, there was a guy they arrested that actually went all the way to Maryland to, his plan was to take out Kavanaugh, right? Mm-hmm. And
yep.
that wasn't successful, and the members of the Supreme Court already have guards and all that kind of stuff around the clock. They've got armed people securing them. But it's interesting to me how quickly they can push stuff through for the Supreme Court, you know, and they could push stuff through for themselves and all that, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
rules for thee, but not for me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you know, it's an interesting situation. Yeah. What we're facing right now. Go ahead, Ryan.
I'm sorry, Hank, man. This is terrible. We'll get our internet fixed here.
No, you're good. Go for it, man. I'll let you say something.
Yeah, I was just kind of piggybacking on what you're saying with. I went to DC a couple weeks ago for some lobbying on some other issues and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's not technically lobbying, but meeting with representatives. And you can't, not just the Capitol itself, but that city as a whole, like you can't go anywhere without going into a metal detector. And it's really frustrating that the separation or the disconnect they have from the average person and the way they live and then the way it is there when you go to DC, and especially going to the Capitol buildings and the escorts and all that kind of stuff. yeah, it's asinine how they have two different values for people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, multiple layers of security and different organizations and all that kind of stuff to protect these guys.
Mm-hmm.
But they won't harden schools though.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of stuff they could do. They could push this thing through to protect the Supreme Court, protect themselves or whatever, but they won't harden schools. Just like,
in fact, they'll prosecute what is it, Homeland Security for going in and question. The Democrats are coming after the Department of Homeland Security because they defied basically the local police unit's stand-down orders or police chief stand-down orders and questioning on what authority did they have to go in. Have you heard about that?
No, is this they question this where in Uvalde or what are we talking about?
Yeah, the Democrats are coming after them because they went in, and here they are trying to act like it's so disgusting because they're coming after and using all of these events to push their agenda, but yet the people who actually went in and stopped it, like
or saved their kids in the lease, they saved their there were people who went in and saved their kids,
and now they're trying to prosecute those guys and question them and say, hey, you didn't have the authority to go in and do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people need to pay attention how disgusting and double standard it is. I mean, they want the carnage.
It seems like it, or they definitely don't care what happens to. Like, I know for me, I've got kids. I know, Ryan, you've got a beautiful family.
Yeah.
I actually got to spend some time with your family. Jesse, I don't know if you have kids yet. I know you're married. I know you got any kids out there?
Yeah, I got 3 kids.
3 kids, awesome. Congratulations. You know, it's weird, man. That's like the most value. I can't think of anything that's more precious or valuable to me than my kids.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So, you know, they just won't do anything to harden the schools. They won't allow people who would like volunteer to, you know, to be at the schools, right? Like, I would gladly volunteer to be. My kids are in college right now, but I would gladly volunteer to where I live here. I would spend my time and be up there at the school. I would do whatever training they wanted me to do or jump through whatever hoops. But they won't even let people do that.
No.
You know? Not even here in Florida.
So to Kansas's credit...
Go ahead.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to Kansas's credit, so at the university level, they actually... We were talking about the state levels and some of the things going on there. Mm-hmm. You can actually, as a student, carry on campus now, which is a huge deal. And you should have seen the reports of how everyone was going to die and every school shooting was going to happen because college students are going to be allowed to carry on campus and everything. Mm-hmm. But to Kansas's credit, we've actually made some headway in that area. And I want to say Utah is one of the other states that has also done that. But yeah, the safety levels there have been phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's a lot of evidence. I know that even also before we started the show here tonight, I was reading something, and I don't know. Like I said, my internet's a little crazy here, so I probably will be. What I'm saying is probably not going to be correct, right? Because I can't go through and back it up. But I think that there was there's summer school going on, like summer camp going on. And there was a story where a guy came with a gun to this summer camp and was actually held off by one of the camp counselors or something like that was armed. You know, they got into it. He kept that guy from actually being able to do anything until the cops got there, and then the cops took that guy out. Maybe someone will put a link for that or give us better details on that. You know, forgive me for just, if I press a button here and go on the internet, I'm going to kick our whole thing off. And I'm trying to avoid that. But the point I'm making is in places where you have people that can resist these guys, it's not so easy, right? Not so easy to do this. Why? Like that seems to me like the most obvious thing. You know, and then there's guys like yourselves who are out there training all the time. I don't necessarily train all the time. But there's folks like yourselves that are out there, have the facilities to help, have, you know, the abilities and all that kind of stuff to help. But it's like, no, we don't want to talk about that.
Yep. Schools are soft targets. So are churches. Mm-hmm. And that's something that we've really got to get on top of, is not being a soft target. Mm-hmm. And I actually contacted my local police department because their building is literally directly across from my kid's school. And I told them, hey, Fort Scott's willing to supply the ammo, and I just want you guys to show up at no cost. You just show up at the range, and we'll do whatever type of training you guys need as far as performance training, getting used to your gear, setting yourself up for success with your gear, whatever. And their response was, I think we're good. We're trained up. We got it. And I'm not talking bad about these guys, but if you were to take one look at how they, use all their gear, set up everything, magazines, their guns, their physical state, all of that, I'm going to go ahead and say that they're not ready. And because I have been around people that are ready, and they didn't look like that. Just basic stuff as far as setting yourself up for success when drawing your handgun, needing more ammo, the correct medical equipment. Yeah, they just didn't have it set up right. But
yeah, as you're speaking, I'm just throwing up. This is this is on the Truth About Guns. No one injured at Dallas summer camp after armed employees slowed a shooter until police arrived. So for anyone who wants to look that up. And yeah, I agree. I'm not saying, I think there are probably some departments around the country, or several departments around the country, that there's folks there who are, considerably well trained in order to deal with this stuff. But for the most part, the truth is around America that a lot of police departments or, sheriff departments, etc., they're really not prepared for what's going to happen here. I know that, like, I did some training one time with my local sheriff's department, and they're all good guys. I don't have anything bad to say about them, but when I did that, I was really shocked at, like, the state of their rifles and the optics, and the optics weren't properly at that time. Their optics weren't properly zero. There was a whole bunch of stuff, and the training that I did was like voluntary training that one of my friend's dad, who was a SWAT team leader, came out here and he volunteered to give them that. And I was like, man, we really need to figure out a way to get these guys more training. And then unfortunately, just like a few months after that, there was an incident that happened here where a guy was mad about something that I think they arrested his son, locked him up or something, and he just found two of these deputies having lunch and just walked in there with a rifle and just shot him point blank, and killed those guys, and then went back to his car and committed suicide. And it was like the most horrible thing, that's one of the most horrible things that's happened around here. And I just remember thinking that, yeah, even my guys here are just not ready.
Yeah. And I'm not just knocking police. I believe as citizens, if you carry a gun, you should be just as vigilant and aware as they have to be, because most likely they're not going to be there first. You're there first. So honestly, if you carry a gun, you've got a job to do, and I don't say that lightly. Work this thing out where it works for you. I know not everybody can go to the range every weekend. I know not everybody can just grind. We all got lives. But you do have an ability. If you're carrying a gun, you do have the ability to save someone's life. So get as much training as possible. Learn medical. Learn how to use your gun efficiently, and just be visually aware all the time. Situational awareness.
Yeah, you have a responsibility to do that. Hopefully you never, we all, I think, hope that we don't really get into that situation. But if you do, there's a reason why the universe or God, or however you want to look at it, put you there. And, hopefully you can react and fight back to that, And then you realize there's like a reason why you're in this position. Regardless of what happens to you, you could stop something really horrible from happening. 42 Chilled is saying West Virginia woman with a pistol took out a dude with an AR-15 shooting into crowds. It happens. It happens all the time around the country that people were there and able to do something. Do you remember? Was it a few years ago that there was a shooting at that church, and the guy that was not far away, he didn't even have his magazines loaded. I mean, He did some awesome stuff,
Yeah.
but yeah, he didn't even have magazines loaded.
Yes.
Yep.
He did.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember his
Yeah.
name right now because I think
I don't know which one you're talking about. Was that the Garland one?
I think so, because I think someone recently gave us his info and we're trying to get that guy to come on the show, and hey, I think he did the right thing. But just imagine, what would have happened if he even just a simple thing is like having magazines loaded, right? That some of us take that for granted.
Yep.
Yeah. Think about that. It seems simple, like until you're in that moment, like, oh shit, this gun that I think I'm gonna use is not actually loaded.
Nor are the mags.
No, it's not loaded. The mags aren't loaded. Yeah, just that simple
Yep.
one little thing there is really important. Make sure whatever gun you have around, however you keep it, that's all up to you, your responsibilities in regards to that. Dude, make sure you've got a magazine there, or 2, or 3, or 4.
Yep. And one more thing, as far as carry and stuff, if you carry a gun, you need to have extra ammo, like we just talked about. But you also need to have at least a couple tourniquets in your car, on your person, whatever. They're not hard to use, and you don't have to be a doctor.
Yeah.
You can get medical training. Get it. Go do it. But just these are $30, and what's someone's life? And this may not even be for a gunshot wound. I know a guy that dropped like a window and it cut his arm, and one of these saved his life. But and he's not even in the gun world. So
yeah, absolutely. Medical training is a good thing. I think we all don't do that enough, including myself. I'm glad to see you guys are going to be doing that out there. Do you have that scheduled on a regular basis in Fort Scott, Ryan? Medical side?
We're working on getting on. Yeah, the medical ones we're working on getting consistently. Mike Ritchie is Battle Line's medical instructor, and he's wanting to do this consistently. Yeah, and we're having conversations to make it happen. With just getting off the ground, yes, it's monthly or quarterly, whatever at this point. But yes, it will be consistent.
Yeah. I think it's very true, and like Jesse is saying here, I mean, you're more likely to find a situation not related to firearms that you're going to use that if you have that.
We all drive cars.
Yeah.
Also, I'd like to put this in here real quick. Knuckle Down is about to release 2 different types of classes coming up, so we'll have stay tuned for that. We're gonna have a medical and something else. I'll let you guys know when that comes out. But it's gonna be really cool. So
yeah. We should talk, hopefully in the future, Jesse, we'll have you, despite all the technical difficulties here, hopefully we'll get you to come back on and we can, we can do some stuff to help you share that. And even outside of you coming on, man, if you need me to help you share something, let me know. But yeah, I think the medical side of it is very often overlooked, including by myself.
I agree.
So that is really important. How can you tell people, Jesse, for people looking or listening to this, wherever they live, how would they go about finding that? Like if you want to get to medical training.
So there's a website called shootingclasses.com, and it's basically a search engine for any type of gun class, medical, room clearing. It's basically like just a big search engine to find classes, and you can I think you can set in like a radius of where you're at and figure out what's going on. But anybody that's registered on there, I'm on there, Battle Line's on there, I believe, and then so are a whole bunch of other people. But it's just a way to easily find classes and not have to scour through Google or Instagram for hours trying to find a class. So it's shootingclasses.com.
Oh, very cool. So that's like a big registry for the trainers that are out there, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And typically, most of the folks out there that are doing training will have some kind of medical stuff attached to whatever they're doing, and that's very worth the time and effort to do that, because you could get into anything. You could be on your property and you're using your chainsaw, anything could happen, and that will come in handy. So it's probably more important, but just one of those things that we don't pay attention to. Buy one less gun or some. I know what I'm saying is crazy. It sounds crazy coming out of my mouth, but buy one less gun or a little bit less ammo and invest in some training, it's not, it's not a bad thing at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you want to say something here, Ryan, before we go to the break? We got a couple seconds.
No, I'd just reiterate what you guys are saying. I mean, I think it's really cool to have our gun setups and our everyday carry and stuff, but you got to have a med kit on there somewhere. Like, I mean, I got one in my bag right here. It's always with me, So,
yeah.
Like you said, it's far more the odds of using that and.
We're taking a quick break. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of manufacturers like Safety Harbor Firearms. SHF is a quintessential family-owned small business, totally representative of the American dream. Safety Harbor Firearms is a Florida-based manufacturer of the compact entry stock and the SHTF 50 upper for an AR-15 lower. Also, SHF happily delivers on your Sten gun parts needs. So don't forget to check out stenparts.com and safetyharborfirearms.com. Yeah. Sometimes I wish you guys could actually hear the stuff that we're talking about in the background. Because, I know me for sure. I'm a complete knucklehead. I'll get these guys trained up at some point here. Right after I train my own self to pay attention to everything that's happening. But we are actually over the 9 o'clock hour, so we are going to start wrapping up. Ryan, did you want to show that med kit? Is that what you went to get?
Sure, I can grab that.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea to have, even if you don't know necessarily how to use it. Someone else might be there that can use it. So, but definitely figure out how to use it.
So I'm going to give a little plug up to our website here. We teamed up
Sure.
with Battle Lines with Mike Ritchie, the med instructor there, and got these kits on the website. But to get a good quality set, it does cost a little bit. Like, we've knocked the price down as much as we could, but there's still a couple $100 for a good setup. We've got. But even if you were to go buy all the parts individually, you're still going to end up spending that. Like a package for you. There's room in these to do add-ons. Obviously, tourniquets on the outside, one on the inside. I've packed mine with some additional things. But yeah, even just something like, just get some literature, because like even if you're stumped or you got someone
show
else
that again.
You know what I mean?
Show that again. Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. What was that? What's that book you're holding up there? First aid.
It's just
and
the first aid and CPR guide. Just some quick, because the medical profession, those doctors spend a lot of time for a reason. There's a lot of knowledge that goes into it. So every little bit you can get to help yourself out is good. Yeah,
and I don't want to take away from YouTube, because I think there are some good YouTube videos out there. But definitely get out and get in front of some good instructors on that stuff. Okay, so listen, we're gonna wrap this up here. I do want to start with Jesse, because I want to get you guys to tell the folks out there, how people out there can communicate with you, find out more about you, support you in what you do. And I do want to start with Jesse. So just tell everyone. I'm going to give you all the time you need. Just tell all the folks where you are and where they can find you, Jesse.
Yeah, my main platform that I use right now is Instagram. Most of my posting is on there. I do have a TikTok, and all of my Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, except for my YouTube, they're all my name. So if you already follow me, it's Jesse Finley on Instagram and all that stuff. But I have my Instagram is my main one. Facebook is linked to my Knuckle Down thing, so I run that kind of locally here. So you'll see like classes like pop up and stuff just for the local people. So if you can get on it there if you're not local. My TikTok is kind of my goofing thing. I like to goof around on there, so you'll see stuff on TikTok that you won't see on Instagram most of the time. Mainly because TikTok's environment is absolutely fun for me to troll on.
Okay, so you're saying you don't do any crazy dancing over there?
No, I love putting stuff in there and getting told that I'm dead and I wasn't fast enough, and I died in war, and I love triggering them.
Yeah.
I am getting a website up soon. That's a process. It's in process right now. But yeah. I'm on shootingclasses.com as well. So be looking forward to some classes that are coming up. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely, very cool. And then I'll let Ryan also get a chance to tell the folks out there. And 42 Chilled did put a link to Fort Scott Munitions /category/shop/medical/IFAC. if anyone wants to know. But go ahead, Ryan. Give everyone the rundown.
Yeah, so our website is fortscottmunitions.com or fsm.com, either one. And then our main means of communication that we try to reach out and really put info in front of people is our emails. So I'd recommend signing up for our email list. We are on Instagram and YouTube also, just Fort Scott Munitions. Like Hank said, we do deal with some hack accounts at times. So, but yeah, got a good presence there. Gage does a great job of running those for us. So
yeah, absolutely. Just don't get spoofed by these idiots that are out there. They do that to quite a few companies out there. So and then if anyone is listening to this and you're trying to like get any of this info, just hit me up, like DM me on social media or something, and I'll link you to someone's thing if that's like the easiest thing to do. But I know if you search Jesse Finley Knuckle Down Dynamics, you're gonna find the stuff that Jesse's doing, and if you search Fort Scott Munitions, you're gonna find the stuff that Ryan's talking about here. Definitely look out for that giveaway, the 10K giveaway. I think you've got a pretty good chance, especially since there's one entry and there's all this really cool stuff. Yeah, I know I need to post something myself and put it out there.
I'd say people would be surprised how good their odds are on these winnings and email giveaways and stuff. Especially, it's weird. The big ones, people are almost more timid to get involved because they're like, oh, there's all these people. And it's funny, like smaller ones almost have more emails because or your odds.
Yeah. I want to see someone that listens to the Who Moved My Freedom podcast win this thing, and then I want to get some of your stuff. You can pass some of that. You can pass some of that stuff over to me. Huh? What's that?
At least one of the DD mags or something.
Yeah, exactly. And then if you're going to any of these places, you can also get some merch from these guys. Let me see. I haven't had a chance to show it off, but I'm actually rocking a Fort Scott Munitions shirt right there. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's very cool. So they've got a lot of cool swag over there as well that you can get to support them. So here's what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm gonna run in the end, but then I'm gonna come back, and one of you guys is gonna give us words of wisdom. Since Jesse is brand new to the podcast here, you never did any podcasts, right, Jesse?
No.
Yeah. So we popping that cherry, popping the cherry. So you are gonna give us the words of wisdom, Jesse, as we go out. So you got a couple of seconds to think about it. I'm gonna run in the end, and we're gonna come right back here, and we're gonna get that from you. And then magically we lose Ryan. I know he's probably gonna come back. Yeah, but anyway, I'm gonna run in the end. We're gonna come back here. All right, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight. We're gonna be back tomorrow. We're gonna rip the audio out of this, throw it up on iTunes and all your favorite places to listen to your audio podcast from. We're also members of the Firearms Radio Network, so shout out to everyone who's joining us in terms of that. I don't know if Ryan's going to get back here in time, but we still got Jesse. So words of wisdom, Jesse, what you got?
All right, my wisdom here is gear enables but skill executes. So take that and let that sink.
Awesome. Well done. Thank you very much. Lola is putting links up there once again for the 10K giveaway. Thanks so much to Jesse Finley of Knuckle Down Dynamics for joining us here, as well as Ryan, who's probably not going to make it back at this point. But his phone probably just died. For all we know, it just died. But it was a great show. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay right there, Jesse. We're out of here. Let me make sure I hit all these buttons properly here.